Hey everybody, it's Frank from WNYathletics.com and welcome to another edition of High School Sportsline. Today is Monday, April 27th, and a decision was made today by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association that they will not go ahead with the 2020 spring sport postseason. What does that mean? It just means there won't be any state championships. For now, the regular season is on hold. Will we have one? That remains to be seen. What we do know is there will not be any postseason championships. Regular season, again, is on hold. So we'll have to wait and see. They did not tell us exactly when an announcement would be on when to either completely cancel the regular season or put something in place. We do know through the press conference today with Dr. Robert Zayas that he spoke with all the executive directors from around New York State last night. He weighed in their input, and they came up with the decision, the executive board did at this time, to at least suspend the championships. Now, I was able to ask a question in the media conference today. What does that mean to cities that were set to host the spring championship in their section? So if, let's just say, baseball was held in Western New York this time around, what does that do? Well, that's up for debate still. There's no clear answer. They will revisit that shortly. I also asked another question. If they wipe out the spring sports season, let's say you're a junior and you have no more eligibility left, like this was it for you. Because this happens. It's rare, but every now and again you get a senior who has no eligibility left because they played their 6 years somehow, some way, however that works. We had it with Justin Johnson not too long ago at West Seneca West. So I posed the question to Dr. Zayas, if this was your final year of eligibility and they wipe out the spring season, will you be able to play your senior year? We didn't get a clear answer on that either, unfortunately, but we will. Those questions will be addressed. So I'm going to try and play that conference for you on our website at some time or on Facebook Live. Questions from media members from all across the state wanting to know what's next for high school sports. Again, the regular season is on hold. We do know that two sections have completely wiped out their spring seasons. And they're down in New York City, Section 11 and Section 8, I believe they are. That has no bearing on what happens in 5 and 6, 3, or 4. That will most likely be left up to those regions. We'll have to wait and see how this all plays out, but that's where we are today. We're going to get more answers in the coming weeks. My guest today on High School Sportsline is Dustyn Green. He is a 2020 Allegheny Limestone student. He'll be attending St. Bonaventure this fall. He joins me today on the program. He is a new intern here at WNY Athletics. He's going to be covering for me and us Olean, Allegheny Limestone, Randolph, some of those schools that are down there in the southern tier that we just can't get to often. So Dustin's going to be our boots on the ground, and he's going to be reporting to us on those schools on a regular basis. We're very excited and very happy to have Dustyn along with us. His first article has been published on WNY Athletics, and it's on the 2019-2020 Allegheny Limestone basketball team, which made it all the way to Buff State this past winter. So without further ado, why don't we hear from one of our sponsors, and then we're going to hear from Dustyn Green.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of High School Sportsline. I am Frank Wolf, and my first guest today is a young man by the name of Dustyn Green, who is a 2020 grad at Allegheny Limestone. Should be swinging through that to receive his diploma, hopefully in a couple of months. We'll have to wait and see how things play out, but he did a great job as the basketball team manager the past 4 seasons, helping that team and Coach Glenn Anderson achieved 2 sectional titles. At the same time, he's been the track manager for the last 6 years. He's anticipating there being a spring season. We'll find out hopefully today what the New York State Public High School decision on that will be. We'll report that to you once we know. But Dustyn Green is my first guest. He is now also an intern with WNYathletics.com. He'll be reporting on a lot of what's happening down there in the southern in respect to the Allegheny Limestone, Olean, Randolph area. It's a need that we've needed for quite some time, so we're excited to have Dustyn on board. You can follow him on Twitter at Dustyn Green 4. The D is capital. But Dustyn is also going to be heading to St. Bonaventure this fall. He'll be a freshman, where hopefully he'll be able to continue his team manager duties. Dustyn, welcome to the program. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing well, Frank. Just waiting to see what Dr. Zayas has to say about that spring season. We'll talk about that later on, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
Yeah. Now, what's going on with the track team right now? Obviously, they can't do a whole heck of a lot, but as a team manager, what's the?
I have not heard from anybody.
Okay.
And that's not a good thing. I hate to say it, but that's not a good thing. Because I feel like when we do come back, that chemistry is going to be gone. But track is a weird sport. Track is a very weird sport because Allegheny has 100 kids on their track team. That's a lot of kids.
Wow.
But you space them out. One kid that I had talked to that is very, very disappointed is Michael Wolfgang. That's a Division I track kid who's headed to Bidminster. I want to get a featured story on that kid for you guys to see. He's great. He's
also a basketball player.
He's a very good basketball player. Yes. If I'm not mistaken, he had some D3 basketball offers. He was like, he just wanted to go track.
You sent me a message about a week ago about what he's doing at the next level. What is Michael Wolfgang going to be doing?
He is headed to Bidminster University, and they picked up a very good, a good student, a very good student, but an even better kid. They picked up a kid that he wants to work, he wants to learn. He's there to do what he does best, and I think he's going to do really, really well at it. I also found out, and I've been waiting to tell you this. I'm going to do it live on air. I also found out that Casey Kern, the 6'4" guard for Allegheny Limestone, is headed to play Division III basketball. He has not yet announced, he won't even tell me. I tried to get him to tell me, but he won't even tell me where he's headed. So as soon as I get him to tell me where he's headed, we'll have another story on Casey as well.
So you got a couple good stories in the pipeline coming up to WNY Athletics. I know we have a season recap for the basketball team that should be published today on WNYathletics.com. We'll be able to read your first story, your first submission today. I'm looking forward to people being able to chance to see that. You've been the team manager for 4 years for the Gators, 2 sectional championships. This last ride ended at Buff State. Was it a last-second shot that did it? You guys outplayed them all game long. Olean, you outplayed them, but Kobe James, man, he just had ice in his veins in the fourth quarter, didn't he?
Oh, my God. Kobe James, that kid, if you would have given him a couple of years, I think he would be a very good college ball player. He got ice in his veins, and I said to Coach, don't forget to have us to switch that. And they missed the switch coming out, but then they switched him. Like, you switched it too late and you shot the thing. I'm like, it's over. I knew it was over. That kid's a legit player. But you wouldn't. Here's the thing. We played only in twice in the regular season. You would not know that Kobe James was the player that he was. He started off real sloppy. at the start of the year, and then he got strong quick. But as for the two section titles, we did what we wanted, but we were stopped short of where we wanted to be this year.
Yeah, it was a heartbreaking loss, no question about it. And you're losing. Are you losing 4 starters?
We are losing we're losing Michael Wolfgang, Casey Kuhn, Gus Napoleon, and Ben Jardine.
Yeah, and that's 4 starters. That's 4 legit starters.
That is 4 really legit starters.
Yeah. So how's that playing in what you got coming back for next year?
I think it's gonna be okay. I really do. We have a junior coming back in Tyler Kuhn. We have a senior coming back in Jaden Gustafson. We have a junior coming back in Maddox Shalon, who you saw a little bit of, especially later in the season. I think he's going to be very, very good. We have a senior coming back in Mason Kwiatkowski, who I also think can be very, very good. But what's even more really has me fascinated to see these guys from a different perspective as a coaching job that Glenn Anderson can do. I'll talk about that just a little bit, just about the morale that he built upon that team. And I had a critical role too as a team manager, but that's a whole nother segment that we can get into in just a minute.
How did you become the team manager for the Gators?
Okay, you want to hear that story? Okay, so I was at a game. I was just watching a game, and as a matter of fact, I was writing a story as a freshman. For a different website. And I was talking to one of the teachers, and I said, I have a dream someday. And she goes, what's that? I said, I want to be a basketball coach. She goes, really? I said, yeah, I want to coach basketball someday. She goes, well, I'm going to tell some people that. And I'm like, okay, it's not going to go anywhere. The next day, I'm coming up from swimming. I'm coming up the hallway, and JV head coach Ron Johnson's coming down the hallway. And he points to me and says, I need to talk to you. And I was going to go over to Portville on Thursday night to watch Nicholas Kozlowski wrestle. Because that kid, wow, that's another legit wrestler. But Coach Johnson said to me, hey, are you going to your game tomorrow night? I'm like, I can. He goes, meet me at the bench, will you? I'm like, what? He goes, you're going to steal it tomorrow. Oh, okay. And it was kind of a one-game deal.
Okay.
But then I got there, and I said, hey, coach, let me in this locker room. So he lets me in, and I looked at all the boys and said, before we get rolling, I Coach walked in and stood behind me. I didn't even know. I said, this is a team that has potential to win a second time. I said, now let's buy in and let's go do it. And we won 4 straight.
Wow.
It was. So we won the first game, and he goes, I thought he was joking. He goes, since we won, you're coming back. And I thought he was joking, like, I knew I was going to be at the game anyway. And my little brother said to me, are you going to be on the bench? And I said, no, I don't think so. I think that was just a one-game deal. And I'm sitting in the gym watching some of the JV boys, which would be the Kwiatkowski's group. And as coach is hanging out in the locker room, I'm talking to Michael Wolfgang's parents. And he throws a shirt to me. And it says, Allegheny Limestone with the words coach underneath it. And I'm like, he goes, keep this for the rest of your life. But he goes, well, for the next 4 years. And I'm like, okay. So that was
Awesome.
kind of his way of saying, it's official, here you go.
Now, do you get to travel with the team as well?
Sometimes. Sometimes. A lot of the traveling I do it on my own. I didn't travel so much during the regular season. I was at every postseason game except for this year's Fredonia
Okay.
game. But I watched that game on the NFHS network, and I called Michael, or I called Michael, or I sent Michael Wolfgang a message afterwards. I said, hey, you guys got to work on that switch. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, I watched every bit of it. You missed the switch 3 times. And that was that same switch that we missed in the Orleans game.
So you picked up on a few things.
Yeah.
I didn't even know we did the Allegheny Limestone Fredonia game.
Because I know.
How was the call for that?
That was a very good call. I was impressed.
Was that Norm and Jeremy? It must have been Norm.
I think it was.
All right, good. I'll have to give them a bonus.
That was a very good call.
We'll have to see. Have you ever done any kind of play-by-play or color work?
I want to do a lot of color work. I haven't, but I do want to.
Cool. Maybe we could find a job for you next year then. Dustin, aside from your managerial duties, you have an association with JCC in their leadership program.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys responded to the COVID crisis with an initiation to raise money to help feed families in your area. Just talk about that a little bit, how that started and what your role was in it.
Well, I've always been an advocate for the disabled community. And at that point, we were working on a program that I was spearheading, calling it Dare to Be Different. And it was the third part of a series. I did 2 programs. I did one my sophomore year, and I did one this past October called Will Am I on My Shoes. This was a spin-off of that for our elementary students. However, COVID-19 had some other things in mind, and my teacher called us all on a Zoom meeting, and she goes, our school was delivering like 570 meals a day, and there were some, disadvantaged kids in our district, and we were trying to figure out a way to kind of offset some things, and we said, let's do the power of one. If we can get every family to donate $1, we can have like $500 if we get 500 families to donate. We put it up, and an anonymous donor put out $500+ as the first donation. So we had a goal, and then from there, the principal had like $100, and it just started skyrocketing, and we got about $3,000, and we donated it all back to offset some costs.
Wow. So I just got an email from Chris Watson, New York State Public High School. They're going to announce it at 10 a.m. this morning. Obviously, this interview won't play out until 8 o'clock tonight on Facebook, but the announcement will be made today at 10 o'clock. The email doesn't suggest one way or the other what that will be, but there is also going to be a go-to meeting video conference for media members at 11 o'clock to speak with Dr. Zayas. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is going to be the word that the season isn't going to happen for spring sports. It's going to be disappointing for all, not just the athletes, but you as well as a student manager.
Yeah, I'm looking at this from 2 perspectives. But I'm looking at this, first of all, from my reporting perspective. And I'm going to tell you right now, folks, this hurts. And as the media needs to sit down. Maybe Frank and I can kind of work this out. But this is a solution I have. I think the track kids have an advantage because 95% of them have an indoor track season. The baseball kids, Tom Prince, I was looking forward to going up to Niagara Falls to watch his showcase. But I think as a media, we need to kind of sit down and we need to figure out when Governor Cuomo is going to allow us to be. I think we're going to be able to be in July, because we are 1 week. And what he said yesterday was, you'll be able to beat this summer. You just can't have anybody outside of your region. And my thought was, let's have a clinic. Let's split it up into two. We'll have one clinic in like Niagara Falls, Sweet Home, Hamburg, that half of schools, and then we have a clinic Randolph, Allegheny, Salamanca, Olean, Cuba, Westford, Bolivar, Richford, and we get some of these kids the exposure that they were looking for all year long.
And maybe gives them the chance to wear their uniform one more time.
Yeah, and I think we could maybe do a game or two if we could find a place to do it. And I think Bolivar Richford might be up for that on their turf fields.
Yeah, that's definitely something to look into. I know Tom does his regular Coach's Corner shows pretty much every night at 7 o'clock, and he wants to spearhead something, but you can't really. You're in a wait and see period.
Have him get a hold of me and we can talk.
Absolutely, he'd love to talk to you. I talked to Sarah Flanders. You know who she is.
Yeah.
And she says you're going to leave a huge void in the community there at Allegheny Limestone when you graduate this summer. She says that there haven't been too many like you that come through the school, but she does wish you the best of luck at St. Bonaventure. Why'd you choose St. Bonaventure? Did you want to be close to home?
I kind of had to be, but I was looking because of the disability. But I was looking at several different schools. It was weird because when we won the first section title at Buff State, I was getting ready to leave the arena, and there was this guy in a suit and tie, and he walks up to me and he goes, "Nate Oates from the University of Buffalo men's basketball program." He goes, "May I speak to you for a minute?" And I'm like, "Sure, Coach Oates." And he goes, "This is just kind of an unofficial approach," but he goes, "I really like what you were doing on the sidelines there." He goes, "Here's my email." And he goes, "We'll get me a text. We're going to see if we can get you an offer once you're ready to graduate here next year." 1 week to the day, Nate Oates left to go to Alabama. 1 week to the day. But that same night, I was approached by the coach from Niagara, who also left, actually. And then Beeline came in for a short time. I got an email both times from Niagara when both new coaches came in. I don't know if the coach took film and had, I don't know what the story was there, but both coaches were trying to get me to come back and, at least take an official. And I was like, no, I had no interest at that point. I did when I was initially approached, but I also got an email from Nate Oates when he was in Alabama trying to get me to go to Alabama. I thought about it, but I was like, that's a fight. And then I was in a game. I was coaching, managing a game one night, and St. Bonaventure associate head coach Steve Kern, the father of Casey and Tyler Kern, says, "Wow, this kid's gonna go places." I submitted my application to Bonaventure. 3 days later, I get a phone call when I'm at the school to go to the guidance counselor's office. And at this point, I'm like, what the heck did I do? And I get to the guidance office, and my gym teacher is coming with me, so I know something kind of strange. And he slowly opens the door, and as I wheel my wheelchair into the door, My parents my dad has his phone out recording. My mom is standing there smiling. This room is packed. The principal is there. The assistant principal is there. It's crazy. So I stop and I'm looking for a place to sit. Well, directly ahead of me, the director of admissions at St. Bonaventure, Jeff Brady, is there. Taylor Rosenberg, my admissions counselor. And they said, look to your right. And I looked to my right, and St. Bonaventure head coach Mark Schmidt is standing there as well. And I was like, okay. And he goes, we'd like to welcome you to the Bonham family. And he hands me my acceptance letter. And I've been in contact with them ever since about being a team manager.
Nice. So you've done well for yourself these last 4 years at Allegheny Limestone. You've made a lot of good connections. You served your school well, and we're happy to have you on board here at WNY Athletics for as long as we can have you.
Hopefully you can have me for. Hopefully Bonus doesn't get me involved too much, because I want to stay here for as long as I can juggle it for.
Just so everyone knows, Dustin also contributes to a fan-sided network website for NCAA hoops. He also contributes to another site called NGSC Sports. So he's a bracket buster. He's a genius when it comes to college basketball. He knows what he's talking about. And you can read some of his stuff on that fan-sided network, or NGSC for NCAA hoops.
Let me talk about that NGSC Sports for just a second. Sorry to cut you off there, Frank. That was kind of a weird. I get some very big stories over there. That's kind of how I started to blow up. The first story I did was Jalen Adams, right after he was drafted and signed to a 2A and promoted to Atlanta. I got some pretty good traction on that story, and I was talking to one of my very good friends, Tyler Dunn from Bleacher Report, and he said to me, he goes, you need to do something on Zion Williamson that nobody knows.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do some research, but good luck, because he was the number one, he was generational talent. It took me 4 days to find it, but I found one AAU coach out of the South Carolina Hornets that he played for one AAU circuit. And I was like, this is interesting. So I reached out to the coach, and I talked to him for almost an hour. And I did a story, and it got record-breaking highs on the website.
Wow.
And then I did a local story on Portville wrestler Nicholas Kozlowski. Nicholas was a New York State Public High School Athletic Association Championships representative. He wrestled for Jeff Prescott, who I also did a story on. And I'm actually best friends with Nick, so I kind of had to load on everything. But I was able to put my friendship aside and report all of the facts. And then I did one on Jeff Prescott, who was absolutely fascinating. If you ever get a chance, Frank, you need to get him on here, and you need to ask him about when he wrestled for Team Foxcatcher. It was absolutely, it was crazy. I could not believe the stories. He left 3 months after the incident went down at Team Foxcatcher. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out, because it's quite, what would you say, Frank? Quite mysterious, kind of interesting.
We'll let those readers come up with an adjective for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll let you guys come up with that answer, but the last 4 years as a team manager, were absolutely the best 4 years of my life.
Well, we'll have you back on soon enough. People, again, if you're not following Dustin, now's the time to do it. At Dustyn Green 4, the D is capitalized. He's an Allegheny Limestone 2020 grad. Will be a 2020 grad. Manages the basketball team for the past 4 years, the track team the past 6 years. He's got 2 Section 6 championships under his belt, and he's going to be attending St. Bonaventure this fall.
I got the blue packs back here.
That's awesome. Awesome.
I got the blue packs right here. There it is, baby.
Nice. Very nice. Very well deserved. Dustin's going to be a member of the WNY athletics team now. We're glad to have him, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of his work in the next coming weeks and months as he helps us shed light on that area that we don't really have much of a presence. We don't really have boots on the ground in that Olean Allegheny Limestone neck of the woods. So we're glad to have Dustin with us, and he'll be reporting to us on what's going on down in that neck of the woods. And we're looking forward to having him on board here, and I hope you're looking forward to reading his stuff. Excellent stuff. Is a postseason wrap-up of the Allegheny Limestone Gators basketball team will be published on WNY Athletics. It's there for you now to read. Enjoy that. Dustin, we'll be talking to you in the near future. I'm glad to have you on today.
Absolutely.
WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
I want to thank you for tuning in today to this episode where we got a chance to speak to Dustyn Green, our new intern here at WNYathletics.com. We were also able to address the phone call that we had today with New York State Public High Schools, Dr. Robert Zayas, and I'm assuming we're going to talk to him later in the week or someone from the New York State Public High School athletic office. We'll set that up a little bit later in the week. They were just overwhelmed today, but we were thankful for the time we were able to get with them and get a little bit of clarification. Mickey Rodriguez has a story up right now on the Buffalo News that pretty much talks about everything that was discussed today in that conversation. Some players, and some student athletes that have signed on with colleges. I got a whole bunch from St. Joe's baseball and then some from Wilson football here. I want to read to you real quick. And if I'm missing any, by all means, yell at me. Send me a message at Wolf3328 or send them to at WNY Athletics. I'll get them somehow, some way. Find me on Facebook. Frank Wolf on Facebook. I mean, not hard to find. Find us on Facebook or on Twitter. Those St. Joe's student athletes, Gabe Hayek going to Baldwin Wallace, Kay Dick going to Cayuga College, Elliot Widener, Canisius, Mitch Flocare, Clark University, Drew Stabluski, Allegheny, Sam Murphy, Stonehill, Dom Casada and Sam Calcaterra are going to John Carroll, and Tino Torella going to Ithaca. Wilson football players, Bobby Atlas commits to Hartwick College, and Drew Westmoreland's going to Alfred. Earlier, we had announced Declan Ferry and Julian Andriola will be going to St. John Fisher this fall. Congratulations to those fine, upstanding student athletes. Tomorrow's show, we've got Ryan Talbot and Paul Peck joining me. 2 media superstars. I can't wait to talk to them both to see what's going on in their world, how they got to where they are now, how they can help you on your journey to becoming a sports broadcaster. For all of us at WNYathletics.com, thank you for tuning in tonight. We'll see you tomorrow right here back on the Sportsline.